Hey there, friends! My name is Desiree, aka Momma Friendly, and I'm trying something a little different this year when it comes to our homeschooling. All of the main information is going to be found in the very first video of this series, which I'll link up here in case you've missed it. But the Cliff's Notes version is that I've been homeschooling my son his entire life. He's 9 years old and on the autism spectrum. He has nonverbal autism along with a few other medical diagnoses. My son also has a complete and absolute undying love for all things Disney, much like his mama. So this year I thought it would be fun to give our unit studies a little bit of a Disney twist. So every 2 weeks this year we're going to start a new unit study based on a Disney ride, movie, character, etc. We're going to be doing our academic work around that theme, but also at least one cooking activity and at least one art activity. So in these videos, I want to show you guys some of the things that we do to fit the theme, and I have a Pinterest board pertaining to each of the themes. And so along with every single one of these videos, there's going to be a link in the description box to that particular theme's Pinterest board. So make sure that you check those out because I am only showing you some of the things that we're getting into every week, but the board is going to have more activities and also activities for kids of different ages and different abilities. So with all that being said, let's get into our theme. So I've mentioned these Twisted Tales books on these Disney homeschool videos before, and I wanted to remind you guys that these are a great option if you have older kiddos, or maybe if you want to read them yourself. I really enjoy these books. Basically, the premise is that they take a well-loved Disney story, but they put, well, a twist to it. So this one is called Reflection, and it's the story of Mulan, but the twist is, what if Mulan had to travel to the underworld? So sometimes, I mean, that's really just outside what you would consider like the regular story. Other times, like let's say in Beauty and the Beast, they kind of uncovered a backstory of like, who was the witch that cursed the beast and why did it happen and what does that have to do with Belle? So the stories are always a little different, but they're definitely very interesting. And like I said, if you have older kiddos that have maybe outgrown the little golden books that I usually read with my son, these Twisted Tales are a great option. I'm going to have both of these books linked down below in the description box. During Lunar New Year, many masks are worn, but the most famous and important of them is the Mask of the Dragon. A dragon mask is a symbol of fortune and prosperity in Chinese culture, and it's usually made to be really complex. They use lots of reds and golds and blues, and they're decorated with feathers and fur. Now, we don't have feathers and fur, but we have these fun little stick-on jewels that we used in our Aladdin week. And I've also got some wooden dowels that we have left over from our Mary Poppins week. In case you haven't participated in those themes, I'm going to have both of those items linked down below. These printouts are available on the Mulan Pinterest board, which the Pinterest boards are always linked in these videos. And so we are going to decorate our own dragon masks for our art project this week. So as always, I'm going to be showing you all some of the themed attractions around the world related to our theme. And of course, this video's theme is Mulan. So I found that Disneyland, I'm not sure how long they've been doing this for, but they have an annual Lunar New Year celebration. And as you can imagine, Mulan is kind of a heavy focus when it comes to the Lunar New Year. So they have a whole parade, they have special themed foods, they have displays all over the park, and I think that's a really cool way to celebrate a culture. We don't have anything like this in Walt Disney World. I'm imagining because in Florida we don't have as high of an Asian population. Most of us are Hispanics, but I just thought that this was a really cool thing that they do. I had no idea until I started doing the research for this video. And so I'm including this video, among others, everything that I'm going to show you now, so you can see them in their entirety on a playlist. I'm going to put the link to the playlist in the description box so that after you've watched my video, you can go in there and watch all of these videos if you'd like. Now this video is more recent. This was released during COVID, so they're still doing the distanced Main Street kind of meet and greet, but it's more of like a look and wave type situation. And this video shows that Mulan is one of the characters that you might happen to see on Main Street at the Magic Kingdom. So it's a constant rotating cast, but there is a possibility, as you can see here, that Mulan might be one of the characters that you see waving from the balcony at the train station on Main Street. This I just thought was fun because this video is from Disney Dan, and he's compiled an entire evolution of Mulan in the Disney parks. So all of the parades, all of the shows, all of the times that they've done like special foods or special events regarding Mulan, he's kind of compiled all of them on a timeline for you. So like I said, whenever you get a chance, go and check that out, because if you want to know more about Mulan in the parks, this guy, he's got the info. Speaking of a timeline and a throwback, this footage is actually from 1998. Mulan had her very own themed parade when the original movie first came out at Hollywood Studios, and somebody thought to record it and put it on YouTube. So if you'd like to see what a parade looked like, 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago at Hollywood Studios, there you go, there's your opportunity. This video is not Mulan specific, but it's from Super Enthused, which is another great theme park channel. She does a lot of Disney content. This is a full tour of Epcot's China Pavilion, and Mulan is the main character at the China Pavilion, but there's so much more. There's all sorts of authentic foods. There's an acrobat show that they used to do pre-COVID. I'm not sure about now, but this video shows you all of the fun hidden details and things that you might see when you go to the China Pavilion. So if you're planning a trip to the park soon, I definitely recommend you check this out. Something that I found surprising though, I was Googling Shanghai Disney, thinking that Shanghai, China, Mulan, but actually I went through a whole list of the current attractions at Shanghai Disney, and there's not a single Mulan themed attraction, show, ride, nothing. If there's something that she's involved in on a minor sort of a scale, like something princess themed or something like that, it was not clear on the website for Shanghai Disney, but I can say with confidence that current day, there is no specific Mulan rides, attractions, meet and greets, even nothing in Shanghai Disney. So if you want to see Mulan, you're gonna have to keep it stateside. So for our Mulan homeschool, we're going to be making mooncakes. This is something that's traditionally eaten at Lunar New Year. However, these are not going to be traditional at all. I wanted this recipe to be easy and accessible for my son to help me with. And so I found a recipe online for easy no-bake mooncakes. And these are the ingredients that we're going to use. First of all, you need a mooncake press. I'm going to have this linked below. It was super cheap and it got to me very quickly. I'm going to have to try to figure out how it works though, so bear with me. The original recipe called for vanilla JoJo's or golden Oreos, but they don't have those that are gluten-free, so I got these vanilla wafers. We also need freeze-dried strawberries, so it said 20 ounces of Oreos. This is a 6-ounce box of wafers, so the recipe is going to be cut down some. A cup of strawberries, freeze-dried. We're going to need a couple tablespoons of cornstarch plus a little extra for dusting, and then the original recipe calls for 6 ounces of cream cheese. Like I said, we're probably going to have to lessen that dramatically because we're using way less cookies than the original recipe calls for. But this is Kite Hill cream cheese. It's almond based. So it's dairy free. It's my favorite cream cheese alternative. And that's it. That's all we're going to use for these mooncakes. So they're basically going to end up being almost like cake balls. But we're going to use the mooncake press to try to make them look like something that you would traditionally eat at Lunar New Year. So we've got our handy dandy food processor out again, and we're going to start by putting all of our strawberries in here along with, I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of cornstarch because like I said, I'm kind of having to adapt this recipe as I go because I'm using slightly different ingredients. The idea is to turn this into as fine a powder as we can make it because we're going to use this to dust the outside of the mooncakes. So my son is not a huge fan of the noise this machine makes, but I am going to have him help me put the ingredients inside and then he can walk away while I'm actually using it. Whoa, that's dusty. Woo, so dusty. Okay, we're gonna put this in a bowl now because we're gonna use the food processor for the next step also. I'm not even gonna bother rinsing it because either way, if some strawberry gets into the cookie mixture, that's fine with me. It's all meant to be strawberry flavored at the end anyway. So next thing we want is to throw all of our cookies in here. We're going to grind them up as fine as we can as well. And then we're going to throw in our cream cheese so that we can make a cookie cream cheese kind of mash, right? Kind of like how you'd make for cake balls. I don't think I'm going to use the whole 6 ounces of cream cheese like I said because we're not using as many cookies as the original recipe wanted us to. So I'm going to kind of eyeball it and see if I can't come up with a good cake ball consistency. It helps to put the blade in before you put the cookies. Put these guys in there. Let's try this one more time. I'm gonna put about 4 ounces of cream cheese and see how I feel about the texture after that. That's good. That's holding together. So I think I'm going to leave it, whoa, just like that. So I have a parchment paper lined cookie sheet here. I'm going to disconnect my food processor firstly, because I'm going to be working in here. And I'm going to take about 2 tablespoons of dough at a time, and I'm just going to roll it into little balls. And we're going to stick these in the fridge to kind of see if we can't coerce them into keeping their shape a little bit. And this is a great sensory activity if your kiddos are okay with this sort of thing. Mine is not so much. So I'm going to have him help me press them into shapes later. But this sort of hands-on thing is a little much for him. So I'm going to spare him. So the press has all these little holes down here, and each design has a knob or a couple notches. So I'm going to press it all the way down so that I can access all this and just kind of put that right there and spin it. And ta-da, look at that. Perfect. That's how we change the designs. So I have a few here, and I guess when they're ready, I put them in the fridge for 15 minutes to kind of firm up. What's going to happen is I'm going to roll them very liberally in the strawberry powder, and then we're going to press the balls down with the mold, and it says to do it on a flat surface, 1, 2, 3, and then before you remove it, to take some more cornstarch and dust the bottom before you kind of just like tap it out and let it fall out. Sounds too easy. It sounds like I'm probably going to have some problems getting this stuff out of the mold. I hope I'm wrong. But I guess we'll see in a second, and I am really looking forward to tasting these. Okay, so these have been in the fridge for 15 minutes. They're the least round balls ever, but that's fine. We'll make do. I also put a little bit of cornstarch here on our working surface so that we're just ready to go with it. And we've got our strawberry powder here. So I'm going to take the first ball. Let me try to round it out a little more now that it's firmer. We're going to really liberally coat it in strawberry powder. Oh, that's good. It's a lot finer than I thought since it's clumpy. I was worried that it wasn't going to be super fine, but it is. So that's good. I'd say that's a good coating. I'm going to put this right here. Papi, come help me, please. Look what's going to happen. Oh, you're touching it. Wow, good job. Here, we can put it down. I know, we're going to use this part. See? So you're going to go like that and go push it. Push down. Go 1, 2, 3. Good job. Thank you. Look what's going to happen now. We're going to put, oh, that's good. I'm going to put a little bit of dust right here. And we're going to, oh my gosh, look how pretty. Buddy, it turned out so nice. Now the recipe says not to be concerned if they look starchy because they're going to sit in the fridge now for about an hour. And in that time, they will absorb whatever starch is going on there. But that's really nice. I'm super excited now. I did not anticipate them turning out that pretty. So I guess let me just go through all the motions again and see if I can convince my son to do a few more with me. How pretty are these? They're supposed to sit in the fridge for an hour to like absorb that starch, like I said, but just like fresh from the strawberry and even with a little bits of cornstarch, that mold worked so well. These are so nice. And I really can't wait. I'm gonna taste one now. Been a while, I think, since we've done a taste test in these Disney homeschool videos. Let's see. That's so good. It tastes like strawberry cheesecake. It's so good. And again, so pretty. I'm sure it's not at all authentic, but very accessible, easy to do, and your kids are gonna love these. You're gonna love these. Everybody's gonna love these. Alright friends, that's gonna do it for our Mulan homeschool theme. We had a whole lot of fun making our dragon masks, and those moon cakes, I know they were not traditional at all, but they ended up tasting almost like strawberry cheesecake truffles. They were absolutely delicious, and I very much enjoyed munching on them all week long. I really tried my best to kind of plan this unit study, this lesson plan, in a way that was respectful but still educational. And so I hope that I was able to convey that. If you or your family celebrate Lunar New Year or did growing up, I would love to hear from you and find out what other maybe important parts we didn't get to cover in this video and what your favorite part of the celebration is. Let me know everything in the comments. Remember, I always have the Pinterest boards that pertain to each theme linked in the description box of my Disney homeschool videos, and I'm always adding to them. So if I find more activities, worksheets, recipes, etc. that have to do with the theme, I continue to add them to the Pinterest boards even after we're done with the unit. So the boards are constantly changing and evolving, and I do my very best to make sure to include activities that are suitable for kids of all ages and all abilities. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, I hope that you will please give it a big thumbs up. I'd also love it if you would subscribe and click that notification bell because I post at least 3 times a week and I wouldn't want you to miss a minute. Thanks so much again for watching. Bye!